All right, so the first thing you want to do is you've got your forest image, but if you look up here at the top, it's at 50%. What you want to do is zoom in both of your pictures so they are at 100%. You'll be able to get a kind of a better idea of what size they actually are. So this picture here, if I zoom in at 100%, and I can finally see it up here, that obviously does not match the scale of the forest. So what I need to do then, and this is written on the steps, is to resize your headshot. To do that, you simply go to Image, Image Size, and I'm actually going to change the percentage of this. I'm going to make it about 30% as big, and I only need to get close. I don't need to make it exact, okay? But that's a little bit more reasonable size to work with the forest. It's still not close to the right size, but it's going to make it a lot easier to work with. If you shrink it down, it also makes your computer speed up a little bit. Then your second step after resizing them so they're about the same scale is to do what's called a magnetic lasso. And to do that, you're going to have your regular lasso tool showing. If you click and hold it down, you can get down to the magnetic lasso. And this magnetic lasso, what it does is it tries to find the difference between colors and shades. And it does a pretty good job of selecting that edge. But every once in a while, I'm going to click my mouse to kind of force a selection point. And what will happen is every once in a while, it'll get to a spot where it can't really differentiate or find the edge, and it can't really decide because it doesn't know what is technically Logan's head and what is, for example, the kind of lighter colored background. So right here where the wall is gray, it's doing an okay job selecting it. But right there, if you notice, I'll kind of purposely make it jump out here. Let's say it accidentally jumps all the way out there and gets the edge of the chair. If I hit the backspace key, it kind of undoes these selection points, and I can force it to get to the right spot. All right, so I'm going to pause the video here real quick. Okay, so I've got this whole area selected, and what I want to do is save that selection because I don't want to have to reselect that ever again. And this, again, is up there, but if I go to Save Selection, and I'm just going to call it Logan, and click OK, this will allow me to, if I accidentally unclick off of that and I don't want to have to redo all that selection, I can always go back up to Select, Load Selection, and it'll reload it. All right. Then what you want to do is refine the edge. Okay, so if you go up to Select, Refine Edge, what that will allow you to do is something called feathering. And you can do a bunch of other things on here, but it makes it look a little less harsh. If I have no feathering, it just looks like I took a pair of scissors and cut it out. But if I feather it, it'll kind of refine the edge. Sometimes it'll make you actually take a little bit more than you actually meant to take. I can constrict it or contract it or expand it here. And change maybe the edging a little bit. And you can kind of play with these numbers until it looks like it's selecting everything of you. And don't worry if it gets too much stuff, but if it gets not enough of you, like if it cuts off your ear or something like that, you may need to go back in there. So I'm going to refine the edge, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to Edit Copy. Or cut, but I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go back to my forest, and I'm going to paste it. You can do Control-V, Control-C if you want to. And now I've got my image here. Now the next step here is to resize this particular layer. I've got layer 1, which is Logan. Layer 2, or the background, is the actual forest. And this is where you go to Edit, Transform Scale. And you'll notice that only selects Logan. If I grab the corner up here, hold down the Shift, it'll allow me now to kind of finalize what size I want him to be. Move them around. Okay, I think that looks good. I'm going to click on the arrow, apply, so it locks it in. All right, and now this is where I really want to start working with the background to make it look like he actually is kind of hiding behind a rock. Because right now it just looks like his upper torso is in the forest. So I want to make it look like he's hiding behind this rock. And this is where what I need to do is manipulate the background here. So I'm going to highlight this rock. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut the rock out, and I'm going to paste it right back in and place it right back into the same spot so it doesn't even look like I've done anything. But what I did do is I cut out part of that background and created now a new layer. You can see layer 2 over here is that boulder. So I'm going to put it right back in there. I'm going to select layer 1, which is Logan, put him on top of that rock. But now I can take layer 2 over here in the top right corner, drag it up, and now he hides behind that rock.